Hi everyone, I'm James Tryon, and today we're going to be talking about memberships, WordPress, and LearnDash. Like I said, I'm James Tryon. I'm the LearnDash training specialist. I've been using WordPress since 2007. I'm the lead organizer of WordCamp Orlando this year. We're still debating if it's going to be virtual or in person. It's probably going to be virtual, but and I'm the lead ambassador of Wapoos, which is the unofficial mascot of of WordPress, and I help make that around the world. I help in WordCamps and all that. I have 3 lovely kids, a fantastic wife, and I think I like toys more than my kids like toys. So you can find me on Facebook or on Twitter at James Tryon. Today, what we're going to be covering is what is a membership site? Should you be leveraging a membership site and features with your LearnDash setup? We're going to be discussing common membership options, tips for a better integration and sign up, use case examples, and audience Q&A. Now, one thing I will say is, as I was going over this, it's a lot of content, and actually this one might be a little shorter, so we can then do longer ones in the future that go into more detail. This webinar is definitely going to be an overview on different possible setups, ideas that we like, or at least I like, and which I'll explain here in this next slide. These are my opinions. These are how I have used all these plugins. I don't want you to take anything that I'm saying negative towards any of these developers. There's no affiliate links in any of these slides, and the only thing I'm actually here to sell is LearnDash, and that's more of a joke. I'm actually here to help. But as far as everything that we're going over today, it really is here as more information. And if anyone has a topic they would like more, or for us to take one of these membership options, do whole videos on how to set them up and control that stuff, I would be happy to do that. I just want to know which ones to focus on more. So as we go over this, please leave your notes in the comments, and we'll be happy to do more in-depth webinars in the future. One thing we'll get started, a quick tip. Before you watch this webinar, each video that we're doing is sort of built upon the previous one. You don't have to do this in order, but if you wanted to learn about user registration, you could. If you wanted to learn about email registration or setting up your WooCommerce environment, or even installing the LearnDash, Astra, Elementor, Academy starter theme, you can go all the way back to that and start from the very beginning, watch these webinars to go all the way to today, where we're going to be discussing memberships. So what is a membership site? Well, a membership site is really anything that adds a little bit of added value to your users. And in my opinion, it's anything that requires a login or some type of gateway that prevents anyone from seeing the content to somebody who has registered or signed up or has a special link or something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be logged in. It could just be a special URL where only your members know about it. But I'm just saying that as an example of something very simple. A membership site doesn't have to have a gateway. It doesn't have to have all the bells and whistles. It can just be your WordPress site. In fact, anything like WordPress has a login, user registration. It has all the systems you need. You could put a lot of your content down on registration. You could make something as simple as comments being a feature of membership, and that requires registration. So again, we'll go over this a lot throughout the presentation, but an actual membership site is just anything that gives a little bit something extra to your users through a login or special environment that only they know about. Okay, should you be leveraging membership features with LearnDash? Again, should you be leveraging membership features with LearnDash? Well, out of the box, you already are. And we'll go over this again a little later with added features you can improve and increase some user involvement with. But in fact, LearnDash has all the major things that any other membership feature plugin would have, like user sign up and registration, leveraging the WordPress default system through our very nice window pop-up, which you can see on the side. It also has built-in content restriction, and it even has what most people are building a membership site for, courses. We have users who use LearnDash obviously for our course builder, but you have people who use LearnDash purely for the membership side of having groups and communities, or having the ability to lock down your content, which is your courses, but they don't necessarily use the quizzes. So if you already have a LearnDash license and a website, you already have a membership site. You could stop there. You don't really have to go any further. So next we're going to cover some common membership options. And so there's a lot of things on the screen. We're going to go over each one a little bit at a time, and then we'll go over some possible setups. So regarding membership structures, a lot of times you're buying access to the membership and you're gaining access to other things. So you're buying access to the site, you get login, and then a lot of times all the courses are free, or access to the courses or content is behind that membership gateway. Sometimes they'll even have access to the site, and you can't buy the courses unless you're a member. So it's a two-level gateway where you're buying the membership and then you're buying the courses. Sometimes they allow you to just buy access to the membership and then you gain access to the courses. Sometimes memberships are set up to where you sign up and then you get a discount. Think Costco. You have online courses like LearnDash. I mean, again, LearnDash can be used for lots of things, but the LearnDash itself is an online course creator and can be used to manage all your memberships as well. And then you have service-based memberships like coaching and consulting that can leverage memberships for booking or discounts or special areas, so you can talk to your customers through message boards or give them access to special content. And then online communities like Facebook or any other niche social media sites. Product-based subscriptions, these are membership because you're ongoing and you're getting access to those things. So if anyone is still doing monthly delivery boxes, then that would also count as like a membership structure. And then you have something that's called fixed term locked content, or drip feed locked content over time. What they both do is they say, okay, you're going to have access to my content for this price for X amount of days or years or weeks, however you want. The first one says, okay, it's going to be, you're going to make payments over the next 2 years. For the next 2 years, you get access to my content. Same thing goes for the drip feed, except that content that you have access to is also going to be dripped out versus getting access to all of it. So how does that really work? What are these setups? You have your basic login, or an even more basic, which I didn't write here, is just a private URL, which I don't really recommend, but you could. You have your basic login. You have your login with a one-time payment. You have a login with a reoccurring payment, and you have a login with a payment plan. The difference between a reoccurring payment and a payment plan is a payment plan will probably stop after a certain set period of time, and then usually the user still has access to all that content that they paid for. A recurring payment is just a payment that happens every month ongoing. To learn more about one-time payment or recurring payment, we do have a webinar on WooCommerce subscriptions and how to set those up. So I'd recommend to check that out. Here's some common membership features. And all these have some plugins, and I wanted to add more details and supporting links on how to use all these. Feel free to ask me in the Facebook group, and we can talk more about this, or which plugins I would use for these types of things. But common membership features would definitely be like a user profile, loyalty points if you're selling things. I belong to several e-commerce stores or brick and mortar stores that require memberships first in order to be to buy from them, and because of that, I also get their loyalty points. And every so many points, I get 20% off or free items or whatnot. So using those loyalty points with a gamification side of things will definitely increase user interaction and involvement with your group. SMS updates. Not everyone's going to use this, but it is nice to have, especially if you're doing any type of like ordering or updates, or let's say you're want to have some update notifications because you've updated part of your membership site and the new content's out. So you could send an SMS message out to all your users that the course is ready. And SMS is really a text message for your phone. There's companies that provide tools for that. Like I use Twilio. It is an API. It's an easy tool to develop with, but it's not a plug and play. You're going to have to use a little bit of coding for something like that. Newsletters are a big bonus here. I would recommend newsletters regardless if you have a membership site or not. But growing your email list is huge, and having valuable content in your newsletter is going to keep your users coming back. Providing discounts to your users, so you have one price for non-members, a second price for members. Private Slack channel. I don't know if anyone is familiar with the group called Post Status. It's a WordPress group of developers, designers, like-minded individuals that all love WordPress, and I'm part of their group. And be part of their group, I also get access to their Slack channel. You can give access to private Facebook groups. Now, one caveat here is you cannot charge for private Facebook groups. You can say, are you a member, and ask them questions, and you can control who gets in and who can't, but you cannot technically charge for access to a private Facebook group. You can unlock resources, meaning I've set up membership sites for customers in the past where they have video content, and you can only read the transcripts without membership, and with membership you gain access to the actual videos. So they're gaining the SEO value of the content. Become a member, you can then go through the course and watch the videos. More access to blogs, content, videos, downloads, things like that. You can do like a Patreon membership that you're gaining access to content sooner. So you can maybe have 2 sets of courses, and you're giving some of those courses to members who are paying a little bit more or sooner. And then you have another level where you're giving them maybe less lessons, or you get the same lessons months later. And then gamification is huge. The more you can get your users involved, the more they're going to want to be involved, the more they're going to interact. The likelihood of them completing your courses because they've invested all that other effort is a much greater number. We'll talk about this later, I think, but there's a couple of gamifications plugins. I think it's called GamePress, or I might be saying it wrong. I think I wrote it down. There's also Badge OS, and I know we are working on one. I'm not sure how far out that is. Some other things have taken priority, but that is going to be an exciting add-on for LearnDash, and I assume it's going to be relatively soon compared to future development. Now, a nice add-on too is a social media platform leveraging your e-commerce system, your course system with something like BuddyPress or BBPress, and even BuddyBoss. The reason I wrote BuddyBoss here is BuddyBoss forked BBPress and BBPress and added some of their own features. A lot of those add-ons will still work with BuddyBoss, but I know a lot of our users are already using BuddyBoss, and they both started from the foundation of BuddyPress and BBPress. BuddyPress and BBPress are sort of plugins that are going to give you a social network in a box. You're going to get forums, live chat, activity feeds, groups, direct messaging, and be able to connect with friends with BuddyPress or BuddyBoss. And you can also LearnDash integrates really well with all 3 of those. So you can gain access to a course, and by signing up for a course, you automatically gain access to a private group. So now everyone in that group is taking the same course that you're taking. You can gain info, knowledge, feedback. I highly recommend that. Now, talk about this a little later. I'll say it now and again later. If you're going to use something like BuddyPress or BBPress or really any type of membership level, I would highly recommend going for a larger hosting platform. I'm not recommending anyone changing. I'm not even going to recommend a host. Just don't go with the cheapest version of whatever host that you're on. It's going to require a lot more resources. Think about all the congruent users that are interacting and using your site at once. I would definitely recommend upgrading your host. Now, another fantastic tip, make sure you have your SMTP plugin set up. WordPress, most hosts are going to send a majority of your emails without a problem. But once you start sending emails back and forth regarding, I love your cat, here's this, check out this meme, I hope you're having a good day, smiley face emoji, like all those small, tiny emails are going to start to add up. Most hosts are going to have a limit. They're all going to go to spam or get blocked or not get sent at all. I highly recommend checking out our other webinar on setting up your SMTP plugins and making sure that your emails send so all your users continue to interact and you don't have to deal with support because all your emails go into spam. Again, some little benefits of having a membership site: keep your users involved. It's creating a reoccurring income for you if you're selling. If you're not selling, you're hopefully still building your email list. You're adding value to your users. So not only are they getting your content in your course, they're also getting hopefully a community, a friendship, building with your other users. They're building this trust factor with your brand. They're investing their own time. Like, in having a membership site does require a lot more work on your end, but what you gain and benefit from interacting with your users, it is so worth that extra investment. I have automation here. This is talking about like drip feeds, newsletters, the fact that your users are now interacting with each other. You can then speed up this environment and you're now breathing life into your course, which is now going to be interacting without you. And then again, extending your user interaction. Okay, these are some plugins that are strictly based for membership that LearnDash has a direct integration with. Some of these are made by the plugin developers, and some of these are made by our team. So this list also is not the end-all be-all of all e-com or memberships plugins that work with LearnDash. In fact, LearnDash will work with most, if not probably all, membership plugins out of the box, because you're giving access to areas with your membership plugin, and LearnDash can just be inside that area that's locked down. Now, if you're looking to sell access to LearnDash with your membership plugin, you're probably going to want to use one of these integrations. If you're looking to give your courses away for free but pay for the membership, then really whatever you want, it's going to work. If it works with WordPress, it's going to work here. So the ones we're going to be covering today, well, we're going to be covering some of the ones on this list. We'll be happy to go over the rest of these in detail if it's requested and there's enough people who want a full breakdown on something like Active Member 360 or iMember 360. But some of these others are membership, MemberPress, Paid Membership Pro, Restrict Content Pro, Memberful, Wishlist Member, Membarium, Ultimate Member, Active Member 360, and iMember 360. Again, those are the ones that we have a actual plugin that'll help you link your courses to. And some of them are made by their team. Sure.
Yeah, I think you were just getting to it, but I was just going to elaborate that the first three, MemberPress, Paid Membership Pro, Restrict Content Pro, those are integrations we've created. The rest are created by those respective companies. So for Wishlist Member, generally for folks that have questions about that integration, I mean, we don't know a ton on our end because we didn't create it. It's built into their platform. But when it comes to like support for the integration of MemberPress, Paid Memberships Pro, Restrict Content Pro, those are free add-ons that we provide, free integrations, and of course we support those.
Correct. Thanks, Justin. Something to be careful with when using any membership plugin. This is not a direct attack on any of these. It's just really, this is something to be careful of whenever you're doing any type of development. is an all-in-one solution or vendor lock-in. An all-in-one solution is great. And in fact, LearnDash is an all-in-one solution, but it's an all-in-one solution for your basic needs. And when you need something more advanced, we want you to find the best tool for that, and we want to integrate with it. And we don't want to get in your way of you running your business. So LearnDash is perfect for that. You can use it for whatever you want. You can use as much or as little as our features. Sometimes a membership plugin is going to try to do everything for you. And sometimes that'll get in the way when you're trying to extend or use extra features that aren't necessarily accessible by everyone. Like you might not be able to use a third-party service that integrates really easily with WooCommerce or EDD if you're using a more unique or locked-in solution of a membership plugin. So next, I want to go over a couple that we have our common setups of membership setups. I wish I had a little bit more time on this, so I might actually elaborate these slides more before they go up. But LearnDash is a great membership solution by itself, out of the box, no extra add-ons. It's easy to use. You can restrict your content. You can offer drip content. You have built-in community features. You can, of course, you have the fantastic course and the course builders. You can sell all your lessons. And then you also have the ability to offer free courses, open courses, one-time fees, recurring payments, and things like that. So all your needs can happen right out of the box with LearnDash, and we don't have to continue. But if you want to get extended features like coupon codes or more things like a social media network, you might want to add extra features to extend those. But LearnDash does work directly out of the box with MemberPress and BuddyPress if you did want to add those social media features. So MemberPress. MemberPress is easy to use. It's a standalone thing, meaning it is its own checkout environment. You can check out and buy and sell and everything directly through MemberPress. You don't need a third-party plugin to continue to sell. You can restrict your content. You can offer drip feed access. It has built-in reminders for renewals. It works with most email marketing platforms out of the box. It offers coupons. It handles payments. It has a built-in affiliate program for the top plan. And it has built-in landing page templates. The starting price of MemberPress is about $150, but realistically, if you want to use BuddyPress or if you want to have a payment gateway that is not Stripe or PayPal, you're going to want to go for the $250 plan. Now, the two cons that I personally see with MemberPress, and this is not really a con. This is just my opinion. Is the limited payment options on the cheaper plan. If you go with the $249, it's not a problem. And limited integration, but it's easily extendable, meaning since it's a closed environment, there's not a lot of add-ons for it. But their documentation is good. It's clean code, and it's easily extendable. So it's not a bad solution. It is a closed environment, though.
Hey, James, just to elaborate on MemberPress. So I think there are some blurry lines between membership plugins and LearnDash, and I'm going to highlight one area that maybe helps to clarify why you might use both solutions. There is drip feeding in LearnDash, but keep in mind that drip feeding is just going to be for LearnDash lessons. That may be all you need. If so, perfect. Here with MemberPress, for example, they have drip content access. Now, say you want to drip feed or reveal more content that is not related to the course. Maybe it's on the blog post or different pages of your website that is not specifically something that is a lesson or a topic or anything like that. You could do that in conjunction with your courses. It's kind of separate. You're still using MemberPress for controlling that enrollment or access to the course, but now you have this other material and you have flexibility to present that in a way like with drip feeding or other features that MemberPress may have that isn't directly related to LearnDash. So hopefully that helps clarify a little bit with why you'd want to use maybe a membership plugin in this case. Say you had other assets, downloads, or things like that you wanted to offer to your members at different membership tiers on a drip feed schedule, then it's not really directly related to marking something complete and completing a course and having a progress bar and all that. That could be one example of why you'd use both.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And I think, like I was saying earlier, LearnDash is a fantastic starting point, and all these plugins will give you the great next step. So you could always start with one environment, and then like you're like, oh, now I want to be access to my download content or more access to my blog, and then leveraging something like this will will work really nicely as a next step as you're evolving your courses. So Restrict Content Pro, they have a free version. And again, it's easy to use as well. It's developer friendly. It's made by the same people that make Easy Digital Downloads, and therefore it works really well with Easy Digital Downloads. It also works great with WooCommerce and works just fine without a payment gateway. In fact, Restrict Content Pro is a plugin that I've actually used probably the most, and even their free version on my custom development work for just logged in, not logged in. We don't really use full-on membership sites all the time. Sometimes we just need something to check if somebody is logged in or not, and then showing conditionals based on that. And Restrict Content Pro is perfect for something like this. They have unlimited user levels. They also have the ability to have free and trial plus premium. So you can say, I want a free account, or I want a free account for 5 days, or I want a premium. You can also, they have a lot of fun ways of doing payments. So you can say, I want $100 down, and I want my payments to be $20 a month. You can use short codes to control what's visible. That offers coupon codes out of the box. It's a great support. You can map courses to different levels and different payment plans. You get a dashboard on your earnings, and it works well with multiple environments. I have not personally used Restrict Content Pro as the gateway. I usually tie it to something else, so I haven't actually used it as the standalone membership tool by itself. I've only used it with other things, but it would work by itself. You can get access to forums for $99, and for $250 you get access to WooCommerce discounts, drip content, advanced email marketing integrations. They have basic email marketing integrations with MailChimp, but if you do the $249, you get MailChimp Pro and all the other more advanced CRM integrations. Paid Memberships Pro. I should have more content here. This is a great plugin. It's another one that's in the repo and free. And as you pay for services, you get add-ons, and their add-ons are fantastic. Their documentation is fantastic. Their team is fantastic. I have used this plugin a lot. Now, the one thing I'll say about this plugin that compared to some of the other membership plugins is, this is my opinion alone, I am not the biggest fan of the checkout process or sign up process with Paid Membership Pro. A lot of times I will leverage Paid Membership Pro with WooCommerce and sell WooCommerce access, sell WooCommerce and then give access to the membership site that way. And that works just fine. They have an add-on for that. I would highly recommend paying for their plugin and going with their Pro version. I've probably used Paid Membership Pros the most for membership only sites. I've used a lot of Restrict Content Pro for conditionals, and Paid Membership Pro for full-on features. In fact, I've used a Paid Membership Pro site for some real estate training. So they gain access to the site. So they went through WooCommerce. They bought access to Paid Membership Pro. Paid Membership Pro gave them access to LearnDash courses. And then when they were ready, they enrolled in the LearnDash course, and the LearnDash course itself was free, but it had timers set to it. So, they had a year to take the course, and once they started the course, they only had 30 days to finish the course. So that was a cool little setup I've done with Paid Memberships Pro and LearnDash, and leveraging WooCommerce to make the sign-up process just a little smoother.
Yeah, that's a really cool setup, James. I actually have another example for folks if you're interested in checking it out. I came aware of this a number of weeks back, but with everything going on with COVID, somebody that I happen to know created a site for his brother, who was a personal trainer. He had a gym and like a training program, and he needed to create something quick. He came to LearnDash, really, and you'll see this. I'm going to share the link with you guys in the name of the program. He just took our demo site install, the one that everybody gets for free when you have LearnDash, the one that you see at demo.learndash.com. He installed that, customized it to what he needed with his colors, or his brother's business's colors in this case, and updated the courses. And so it's a membership platform powered by Paid Memberships Pro, where the people that get trained or are part of this training program, this fitness program, they get access to all this different course content. So it's kind of the framework James mentioned before, where you pay monthly to get access to everything.
Mm-hmm.
The name of this is, and I'm going to paste it into the chat as well, but it's training.push40fitness.com. Push 40, the 40 is the actual number. I'm putting that in the chat. So it's training.push40fitness.com. You'll probably recognize the template a little bit, other than the colors being different. That is our demo site with LearnDash installed as well, and Paid Memberships Pro for handling the registration. So that's another example and a good use case of when memberships can be a good choice for your courses.
Yeah, that is great. And the benefit of Paid Memberships Pro is like it's free out of the box and it works great. And as you can pay for access to the documentation and support. Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's one of my go-to solutions for membership. Actually, everything on these couple that I'm breaking down are ones that I actually use. So WooCommerce memberships. This one's a little bit tricky, right? It's a great solution. If you're already on WooCommerce, you're already on, let's say, using WooCommerce subscriptions, then WooCommerce memberships is great. I would not necessarily go the WooCommerce memberships route unless you're already pretty deep in that ecosystem, just because of the price and then the other prices for the subscriptions and stuff. So to get started with this, you're looking at $199 for subscriptions plus another $150, so $350 to gain access to WooCommerce memberships, which isn't too bad if you're doing it as you're growing. This is a good product. I have no issues with it. It integrates really well with subscriptions and WooCommerce, and then directly with LearnDash because it ties directly to WooCommerce. So you get flexible membership levels, restrict content, drip content, membership rewards, membership management, and user areas. But a lot of this stuff, honestly, you can do almost without this level. And realistically, if you're using WooCommerce subscriptions, you don't necessarily need this. In fact, and if you're using LearnDash 3.17, there's a nice little filter in there for our WooCommerce subscriptions plugin that'll actually let you treat subscriptions as a payment plan. So after you've done making your payments, you can continue to have access to your courses. So you could skip the WooCommerce memberships, just use WooCommerce subscriptions in our filter and accomplish the same thing. Now you might want to add a couple new features for controlling some drip content and membership membership rewards, but you wouldn't necessarily need this version. But if you're already on WooCommerce and WooCommerce subscriptions, it's a good solution.
Ashley makes a great point, just writing in the chat here, that one reason they went with WooCommerce subscriptions is because they sell memberships, but they sell other things besides memberships as well.
Yes, that's actually a really good point. I think I talk about ADD here, or at least I do in my breakdown in a moment, are in like what I personally like. Easy Digital Downloads and Restrict Content Pro are great solutions for anyone who wants to offer a membership site and are not ever planning on selling any physical goods. If you plan on selling physical goods, shipping collateral, books, t-shirts, anything to your students that might be for sale, WooCommerce is a way that I would go, because then you gain access to the actual shopping cart system. S2 members, this is one of the oldest plugins that have been around since the beginning of WordPress, honestly, it feels. This plugin, though, shows its age. It's not the easiest to use. There is a free version, but it's very limited. However, if you're looking for something that's a little free, or you're okay with some really good documentation, but you want to get in there and use something that's been around, S2 Member has been around for a long time, over 10 years, I believe. So it's a very good plugin. It's just hasn't evolved as nice as some of the others because of its age and the way WordPress used to be versus how it is now. So it's not the easiest to use, but it's still something that, hats off to them for their hard work and being around so long. Notable mentions, paid membership subscriptions, and wishlist member. Paid membership subscriptions is a premium plugin, but the reason I listed it is they have a fantastic profile registration system, and it works really well with this. It offers all the same features that all the other membership plugins do, so it's not like it's fancy or anything that's amazing, but their selling point really is the profile builder and registration system that ties to this. And that would also tie really well with WooCommerce. It lets you extend your WooCommerce profile. So I'm throwing that in there because of their other plugin, not so much this one. And Wishlist Member is a great tool for WordPress. I didn't really have a lot of time to go into it, but I wanted to at least mention it. So here's some common LearnDash setups. Now, WordPress by itself, that is a fantastic solution for a membership site. Registration, email notification, comments, it works. You're not going to be selling anything, it's there. You have LearnDash itself. LearnDash is fantastic for selling your courses, control access, membership, registration, selling, user management. It does everything that you need it to do. More features though, I personally go the WooCommerce route because selling products. A lot of my customers also sell products to gain a little bit of extra revenue, even if it's just t-shirts with their logos. Most of my clients are selling an additional something with their courses. Then a lot of times they'll go WooCommerce, WordPress, WooCommerce, WooCommerce plus subscriptions plus LearnDash. So then you can get your recurring income. If you don't want to do all the overhead of an entire e-commerce solution and all the shopping cart stuff, you can go with simple add-on like Gravity Forms and then PayPal. So you can use WordPress, Gravity Forms, PayPal add-on, and LearnDash, and those are just going to work really well together. You're going to give paid access to your courses, and you know you're logged in, not logged in stuff, but that's a simpler approach. Paid Memberships Pro, WordPress, Paid Memberships Pro, and LearnDash. That's a good solution, but a better solution, in my opinion, is WordPress, WooCommerce, Paid Membership Pro, LearnDash. So I like to personally add the WooCommerce in front of the Paid Memberships Pro, and then easy digital downloads, WordPress, easy digital downloads, LearnDash. So not selling physical goods, easy digital downloads is a fantastic choice. Their support's amazing, their team's amazing, and they're also the same people besides behind Restrict Content Pro. Restrict Content Pro going to work out of the box fantastic with easy digital downloads and WooCommerce. So another solution would be WordPress, easy digital downloads, Restrict Content Pro, LearnDash. MemberPress and Memberium are both standalone membership plugins that do not require any other third-party plugin to sell your courses. So if you were to use WordPress, MemberPress, LearnDash, WordPress, Memberium, and LearnDash, those are both great solutions. These setups on this screen are the most common use cases in our forums. This is how I usually use it. I've used all these setups, and this is one of these are probably where you're going to be located. So this is what I do. Personally, I'm a huge fan of LearnDash. You don't need anything extra. But if you want something extra, I also usually will go WooCommerce, Restrict Content Pro, and LearnDash, or EDD and LearnDash and or Restrict Content Pro. You don't necessarily need both, but they work really well together. And then WooCommerce, Paid Membership Pro, LearnDash, and MemberPress. Now, these 5 are me personally. That's the order in which I usually prefer setting up membership courses.
Let me add one more, number 6 to that, James. So something that I don't see is LearnDash and just WooCommerce. Now, I know WooCommerce has a shopping cart, but let me elaborate. We get a lot of questions that come in either in the Facebook group or into our help desk, people saying, hey, I want to sell courses individually, but then I also want to sell kind of like this membership where everybody gets all courses if they pay a higher price. You can do that with just WooCommerce. That's usually what we recommend. You can have WooCommerce and map a WooCommerce product to each course, each LearnDash course. And then you create a product that's a bundle, and you create that product in WooCommerce and associate every single LearnDash course to that product. So when it's purchased, somebody gets access to all those courses. You don't need to layer on another membership plugin in order to do that. You can just use WooCommerce and LearnDash. And actually, I think we talk about that more in a previous webinar that's on our YouTube channel. So go have a look at our YouTube channel, and there's details there.
You're right. I thought I added one more tip for that, the link for that as well. Yeah, thank you, Justin. I agree. And yeah, I also use WordPress and LearnDash by itself a lot too, without going that extra layer. Most times, I usually just stop there. And then again, like I said earlier, good hosting. It's going to be user intensive. I don't want to make any recommendations because all hosts are good and they all have their issues from time to time. But if you're going to be having a membership site and several concurrent users, please make sure you have a decent host. And we have a couple minutes for questions. I did run about 10 minutes over on the actual presentation, but I'm more than happy to stick around to answer questions or answer questions in Facebook group if we run out of time.
Yeah, if you have any questions, everybody, first, thanks for attending this webinar. If you have any questions, you can post them in the QA section or in the chat. We'll try to address all that come in, but I'll start with the generic one. As some folks are wondering, how to decide if they need a membership plugin or should go the membership route. And I'm afraid there's no cookie cutter answer to this. A lot depends on the content that you have and your industry. I think we demonstrated where membership might be easier to sell, and that's in the fitness industry. And when I shared that link is because people, when it comes to fitness, are used to that concept of memberships. You pay for a gym membership, you pay for fitness videos or whatever on a monthly basis. It's a little bit more, I don't know, it's more common in that space. If you're really not sure and you're just starting out, start with the easiest solution. If you haven't sold anything yet, then you should just use LearnDash and sell a course. The reason I like that personally, and I recommend that especially if you're starting out, is selling a course. I mean, that's an easy transaction to sell to somebody, easier than a membership where they have to commit to paying you multiple months for either a specified amount of time or whatever, forever in some cases. If you're just selling a course, you can say, hey, this is our course, this is the price, you get access. Get the ball rolling that way as you get more students involved, then you can roll out a membership component to your courses if you want to. So that's one way to keep things simple from the get-go.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I would, another thing is if you open up this whole community feature and you have no users, if you throw a whole party and no one shows up, that doesn't really necessarily look good. So I would really work on selling your courses and getting a little bit of a user base going before you did offer anything like the social media functions. But you could always start with doing more of advanced content or more access to your courses style membership without needing a large user base.
Okay, we have one question here saying, can you have a main account that gives approval for a group of licenses to access content underneath that account? I think what you're asking there is, can you have somebody purchase like a membership level and then there be seats in that then they can distribute to like their team or to other people as well? I believe the answer to this is yes. In fact, I know of one way off the top of my head with EDD and WooCommerce. There's an add-on, the group registration add-on for LearnDash by Wisdom Labs that will allow you to do that. And I think, James, some of the membership plugins allow this as well. These kind of sub-accounts, like MemberPress, I believe, has that.
I think there's, yeah, and I think there's, I forget the name of it, but I also believe there's one on WooCommerce too that allows you to like buy packs of memberships of things, so you can like distribute them almost like a family pack of. But I'll be happy to research that and post a link in the Facebook group.
Yeah, I know that's something that does come up every now and again, but I'm pretty sure some tool. I mean, I know of one way for sure with the shopping carts, but I'm pretty sure I've come across this as well in the membership plugins. Someone's asking, if you're just using LearnDash, can you allow the customer to cancel any time? I guess this is under the assumption that the course is a recurring payment, in which case, yes, they can. The process would be different. So for example, if you're selling with PayPal, they could cancel their subscription in PayPal. Some folks want to have like a contact form for this where they reach out to the support, and that's one way to do it. In terms of just having like a one-click cancel, no, that's not in LearnDash. If that was something, that kind of subscription management that you wanted to implement, then probably a shopping cart would be a good way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Or a membership plugin, sorry. Shopping cart or membership plugin, since that's the topic. So that would be one reason you could or may want to use a membership plugin.
Yeah, I know WooCommerce subscriptions offers that out of the box, and you have to take one extra step to set up some API keys in PayPal. But as long as you set up those API keys, you can do all the refunds and everything directly from your dashboard, and the user can even do that. Well, most plugins too. All the plugins that I listed in the 5 that I gave a little bit more details on, actually, those all have the ability, if you, the admin, allow it, and the gateways are configured correctly, to modify your subscription. So instead of canceling it, you could jump from a higher or lower level, and it will adjust the price for you if the admin allows that setting. So.
All right, there are some additional questions coming in. So someone asking, they are trying to sell access to their courses. They're contemplating using a membership plugin because the payment gateway they want to use isn't supported by LearnDash out of the box, which is generally people with LearnDash are going to be using Stripe, PayPal, or in some cases to checkout. So they're using, so right now they're taking payment from these other payment methods and then manually enrolling the user into the course, which I agree probably isn't ideal. This could be something that you would use a membership plugin for if that membership plugin integrated with these different payment gateways. Chances are, if it's something a little bit more obscure or regional, then it might not be supported, in which case I would say there's probably 2 options. WooCommerce is going to have the most options for you in terms of payment gateways that integrate with WooCommerce. And then secondly is maybe take a look at Zapier. We have a Zapier integration that if that payment gateway was on Zapier, then you can, when you receive that successful payment, enroll somebody into a specific course. So those are 2 other options if it's not supported by WooCommerce, or I'm sorry, if it's not supported by a membership plugin.
Yep. Can you trigger a Zapier off a Zap off an email, off a subject in an email?
That would depend on the trigger thing. So we have actions, which depending on the trigger app. So if the trigger app, if another, let's say it's MailChimp. So maybe MailChimp had sending as an email as a trigger, then we have an action of enroll in a course. I mean, that doesn't really, that just depends on whatever app you're using, if that makes sense. Sorry, we don't mean to go down the weeds with Zapier too much, but yeah, we have a nice integration with that opens up a lot of possibilities in connecting with other applications. Just having a look at some other questions in here. I know we're running short on time and we want to respect everybody's day and night and morning, wherever you are in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an explanation here that the WooCommerce plugin is free, but WooCommerce subscriptions is a premium add-on. Yeah, so that's a good distinction that's being made. If you do go with WooCommerce and you want that subscription piece, they sell that subscription piece on top of their free plugin. So just make sure that you are aware of that.
Yeah.
Which, I will say is worth it, because when it comes to subscriptions, you're going to want support and help and stuff if something's not going right.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's worth every penny. It's a great company that built it, and then Automatic bought them a couple years ago. I actually worked on a version of the original subscriptions mascot. It was like a goldfish in an astronaut suit, like floating around in space for a bit. But
fun fact.
Yeah, that was like maybe like 6 years ago. We made it. I don't think it ever went to production, but we spent a good 3 or 4 months working on a mascot for WooCommerce subscriptions. At the time, it was just subscriptions. But
all right. Well, I think that's all we're going to take now. If anybody on this webinar has more questions, you can feel free to please post it in the Facebook group. We'll be watching that. We'll be seeing what people are interested in. We can always dive into any of these areas a little bit more. But with that said, thank you so much for attending this webinar, and we hope to see you on the next one.
Thanks, everyone.